Bye, Matt. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. What's a CD player?
8-track player, but thinner.
An 8-track player, but thinner.
Yep, goes right in there.
What is that? Ooh, look at that flip-out disc, though.
Looks like a big USB port. USB.
See you, bud.
See ya.
Good afternoon, guys. I just got home from work and I finally have some good news for you. Look what showed up. One-piece drive shaft finally showed up. Just ripped open the box there. I didn't even do the usual, like, what's in the box, blah, blah, blah. Fuck all that. I want it out. I'm ready to put it on. I actually spent last night getting all the tools ready to make sure I have everything laid out, what I need to do to put the exhaust back on. Laid out the bolts over here. Let's get over to it real quick. Laid out the bolts right here, which go for the rear end there. You'll have to use some blue Loctite to get these on. And yeah, I'm not even sure what foot-pounds need to be. I'm just gonna crank them down as fucking hard as I can get it. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and install this real quick, and this should be pretty easy. So let's go ahead and throw it on. All right, guys, so you can see exhaust is back on and you can't really see the drive shaft right now. If I can scoot my fat ass under here, you might be able to see the top of it. Back's all on. I use blue Loctite to make sure those bolts don't back out, and they have, I guess, not crush washers. What the hell are they called? I don't know. There's special washers to keep it from the bolts backing out, blah, blah, blah. So everything's back on. Exhaust sounds good now that's all on. I went ahead and tested everything too, made sure the wheels spun and the clutch is all right. The real test is getting it down the ground, but wanted to make sure at least I have the clutch somewhat set up correctly. So I'll do that here in a minute, and yeah, so give me 2 seconds and I'll have it done. So I got it down already, guys. I'm like ecstatic right now. If my video seems very sporadic, more than even usual, it's because I'm so happy right now that the car is actually down. It just, oh, listen to that thing. God damn, does it sound good. I'm so happy right now. So it's down. I'm gonna go test the clutch and make sure everything's slipping okay. I'm not gonna do an in-car video yet or anything, just because I wanna go test it a little bit here, go for a drive and make sure everything's copacetic and everything's spinning okay. Definitely not used to the clutch letting out so far. Seems a little weird to me. Maybe someone else can give me some insight on that, but I'm using the Clutch Masters. I think it was a FX 650 or 700 or something like that, or 750. So if anyone can give me a little feedback on that, I'd appreciate it. So I'm gonna go take it for a quick test spin here and see how she goes. All right, so I just took a trip around the back and it was a little iffy. So I'm a little worried right now what's going on. The only thing I can think of is I got a couple options. Well, first off, I'm kind of trying to figure out why is the clutch releasing so late. I bled the clutch, well, perfectly, I thought. So I'm not sure if that's part of the issue. Also, there's like a rattling and almost like a tapping noise. Now, what I think it is, keyword think, the one bushing back there doesn't have a bolt in it yet because I didn't have a spare one because I didn't have a TT diff before. So the diff that's in it only had 2 bolts, and this new one has 2 bushings. So I only have the one in it now. I was just taking it down the road, so I didn't think it caused any harm, but I think that's what's rattling. Again, I think that's what's rattling, but I don't know for sure. So I have to figure that out here yet. It kind of sucks. I really wanted to drive it here tonight, but it means I got to put it back up on jack stands here real quick and kind of figure out what that is and go from there. All right, so I went ahead and removed the one polyurethane mount, which I thought was rubbing on because, like I said, I'm missing the one bolt right now. I know, guys, I need to get one ASAP, so I'm gonna go ahead and order one of those tonight or find someone that has a used one and throw it in just so I can get that back in. I've got a couple other issues. I put the clutch in and it releases super late. So I just talked to Miguel. He told me to adjust it because obviously you can spin the clutch itself, or not the clutch, but the, what's the word I'm looking for here? Oh crap. Pedal release on it, you can actually turn it down so it puts the pedal a bit closer so the release is better for you. It's not so far up. So I'm doing that right now. I'm trying to spin it. The other problem I have is D-cell. I have a slight like vibration in the steering wheel and stuff. Nothing major, but I can definitely feel it. On acceleration is where I have some real issues. I have some like juddering or shuddering coming from the rear. Not even shuddering, but like I can hear a clanging noise, almost like something's rubbing and hitting in the back when I'm taking off, which I don't like that at all. I'm not too sure what that is or what's causing that, and it's got me a little a little worried on what that is, so I'm trying to figure that out, and I'm going to give you guys an update hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to try to get as much as I can done tonight so I can make the video tomorrow night at least and get it uploaded, because I try to get these done as fast as possible. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to try screwing with it here a little bit more and give you guys an update shortly. So I got the pedal fixed now. The issue with that was the throw was just messed up. You can adjust the stock pedal where you want it to throw. With that 6-puck clutch and the way it's set up, it just needed to be pulled down closer to the floor, and now it releases properly and it feels much better. It was like releasing up next to my chest before. There's just a little screw, a little nut, I should say screw. There's a little nut in the back, you loosen that up, and the rod itself, you can actually spin it and it pulls the pedal closer down or further up. I just had to pull it further down to the floor, and now I'm good to go. It's quite simple, actually. I'm really stupid simple. But the only issue I have right now is there's like a juddering coming from the rear end. If I'm cruising along, no issues, no noise, no nothing, no problems. As soon as I try to give it any type of acceleration, you can hear something almost like rubbing, like it's trying to hit something or rub on something. So I need someone else to come down to the house, and I'll sit underneath the car, they get underneath the car, whatever, both of us, so we can look, put the car up on stands and kind of go, all right, let's accelerate a little bit, turn the car on, let it accelerate, and maybe like blip the throttle and see if it hits anything, or see where the point of failure is at, because something's rubbing, something's hitting, I just don't know what it is. So that's what's next up for me, and gotta kind of figure out what this is as soon as possible, because I have tuning coming up with John Kerr. It's the joys of having a car. I mean, this is the kind of shit that pops up. It is what it is. I'll get it sorted. I'm hoping that the rear end issue is nothing big. It does have a one-piece drive shaft in and out. It does have a billet mount that goes actually to the diff itself, so hopefully that's not a big problem. Well, I just found the culprit, boys and girls, so let me get under the car here and show you. Definitely is rubbing. Now, if I could just find where I put my walker at. Let's be the dumbass. My super sweet Duralast creeper, walker, whatever you want to call it. But here's how minimal it is, but it's amazing how much noise it can make. Well, obviously it's metal on metal. Yeah, so let me crawl under, see if you guys can see this. So here's the diff, here's my solid mount that you guys can see there. Nice solid mount, and then there's a stud. And if you look at the stud here, there's like a mark on it. See right there? There's a little mark. Well, then I looked up here, and under acceleration or deceleration or whatever, it must be clipping the top of the frame there and just barely rubbing. What it looks like, it's only rubbing on one of the studs also on top of it. Just this stud here is actually hitting. Only this stud. The other ones are short enough just to miss it. This stud's the only one hitting. So what I'm going to do is actually notch the frame, because, well, I could cut this down, but then I'm afraid I couldn't get that off. And if I notch that a little bit, it's not going to hurt nothing. So I think I'm just going to go ahead, notch that little bit of the frame there, get my Dremel out, and hit that real quick, and it should be good to go. You want to talk about one happy camper right now? Car's all good to go, just drove it. Definitely have to get some getting used to with having a 6-puck clutch. I've never had one before, and it is definitely different. I'm not used to only having that much of grab area. Now it comes on and off very nicely, and it's working, but it definitely does not have the slippage that I would like. But hey, I mean, I'm going for bigger power, and I don't have a twin disc or a triple disc clutch, so what do you expect? I did fix the rear end. The studs on the rear end for the drift motion billet mount, like I showed you earlier in the video, was actually, well, slightly too long. So all I had to do there was trim it down just slightly using a Dremel, cut each one of those bolts off, and I just took it for a spin, and I had 0 issues. So pretty happy about that. I shouldn't have any, I don't think I'll have any more stemming issues from it. It should be good to go now. So yeah, the only thing up next is tuning, and I'm gonna keep driving the car here, keep testing. I'm gonna change the oil out here. I think oil was a little bit low last time I checked it. I hope I'm not burning oil. I mean, I don't see anything come out the tailpipe or anything. I just put brand new valve stems in it. All the seals are new in it, except for the turbo. That's the only thing I can think of that could possibly be burning oil. It probably wouldn't make sense because I've had issues with that in the past. But that was when I had a -4 feed line, and I went down to a -3 now on my S366 turbo. So I shouldn't have that issue, but if it is still there, I'll have to look into that, maybe possibly rebuild it for a 3rd time, or actually no, a 2nd time. I've already rebuilt it once. And if I do that, I'll do a video on that, because it's actually really easy with a journal bearing turbo. Boring. What the hell's wrong with me? A bearing turbo. So yeah, so that'll be one of the next things I do, probably down the road here. Just let's there's something to do. NOZ just sent out my rings for the headlights here, so I'll be doing that project soon. yeah, so I should be getting more of the fun stuff here. I mean, I'm going to do some more in-car videos here shortly, and there's probably some wind noise now. But yeah, I'm excited to finally have some like in-car videos, loud noises, burnouts, you know, etc. The only thing I might do, and this sounds kind of shitty and stupid, but I might actually drop the diff again, and then the ears of the diff, so you have the back casing where the aluminum, where you can actually get to the diff and all that stuff and pull out the LSD, the actual ears which are up front, there's 2 points. I might actually put solid mounts in that, just for the fact that there is still some movement back there. Obviously that's why when sitting still, my draft shaft where those billet mounts weren't hitting, and when I gave a little bit of acceleration on it, it were rubbing. Obviously there's some movement there. I don't want to put too much harshness in it, because then it becomes a fucking legit race car, and then it's just not fun to drive. So I want to have some movement there. I don't have billet trans mount or a billet engine block mount or anything like that. I want it to be a street car, but at the same time, you don't want to be breaking parts because you have too much movement in them. The way you break rear ends is movement. At the end of the day, like, as solid as you can make that thing is the better off you are. It sucks, but that's the truth of it at the end of the day. So that'll be one of another projects I need to do, and I'll show you guys how to do that. That's not going to be easy. I'm going to try to find a way to get some dry ice to freeze them down, because they'll just drop in then. I'm told getting the old mounts out is probably the hardest part. Like I said earlier, I still need to get a bolt for the one diff mount. If any of you guys out there, any of you super guys have an extra one, please let me know ASAP. I'll pay for it. I just need to get one in the car. It'll help shore up things a little bit. Honestly, right now it's fine. It's not going to hurt anything because I can't really romp on it or anything like that. Like I said, this is the only one it had in its stock. It just had this stock rubber one like that, so it didn't even have this one when it was NA. So it's not really hurt anything. It can hold up the diff just fine, but when getting on it, this will surely hold things a little bit better and keep everything true. So if anyone has anything like that out there, please let me know ASAP. I did figure out, I wanted to talk about the catch can and the whole setup here. I am getting like a burning sensation smell still, not inside the cabin. Only thing I do for that to get rid of the smell is, instead of having it on outside airflow, I just put it on recirc and I get nothing inside. But something I've always smelled is, I don't know why, just with this engine, my NA engine, I smell oil burning. I do. I smell oil burning somewhat somewhere. I don't know why, but I can definitely smell it, and I don't know why. Compression is good across the whole entire engine. I'm not getting much in my catch can anymore. I don't know why, but I can still smell it. I feel like it shouldn't be doing that. Maybe I'm going crazy. If you guys could give me some insight there, maybe I'm just going nuts over all this. I haven't had this issue really in the past. Like I said, when I had my non-turbo engine, just when I went to a turbo engine, I can definitely smell more oil smells and a little bit more fuel, but not so much. I have been looking more at wheels, as I really want to get these gone, so I'll probably sell these two. I just want to set a real wheels, something a little bit nicer, something with a little bit better lip on it. I'm not sure what to do yet. I know I've mentioned a couple, but I'm having a real hard time what looks good in the Supra body, mainly for the fact that since we have to run such a high offset to fit a proper wheel, to run like 11.5 inch wheel, I have to run like a plus 50, plus 55 offset, which kind of sucks, which is why you never see a Supra with a big fat lip on it. That's about as big as you're going to get. It just makes it a little difficult what I want to get. I know I want something without any visible rivets. That's something I don't want. I don't really want anything with visible rivets. I want a true 2-piece wheel. It doesn't have to be 3-piece. I don't care about that, but a true 2-piece real forged wheel would be nice. So I'm trying to figure out what to do there. I think that's going to be it for this one. Thank you very much as usual. I appreciate it, guys. I hope these updates are doing you well. Do me a favor, as usual, go down below, subscribe to that, well, not subscribe, I guess it would be like. Is it like on Facebook still? It shows how much I look at that shit. I'm on Instagram all the time. Go down, like my Facebook page, check out my Instagram. It's all down below in the description. Pure Function _ for Instagram, Pure Function Engineering for Facebook. Yeah, so I'll talk to you later, guys. Have a good day. Peace.